Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the live today. I am here with a live interview as part of our Business Warrior interview series. We've got Serena on the stream today. How you going, Serena?
I'm going pretty good, thanks.
Yes, and we're both super excited for this interview today. We have Dr. Vicky on the call today. Welcome, Dr. Vicky.
Hi, Jared. Hi, Serena. Thanks for having me.
We're so happy to have you on as well. So for those of you who don't know Dr. Vicky, she's a CEO at Global Achievers Magazine, a social entrepreneur anointed as a skilled helper and psychotherapist. She runs her own clinic. Now, you want information on how to deal with isolation. You're stuck at home whilst working a business. She is a private achievement coach and has an offer of a 7-figure online coaching business as well. So we're super excited to have her on. Thanks so much for joining us as well today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
So while we're waiting for everybody to jump on today, let's just talk a little bit about what's going on in Australia. In Australia, it's very strange. You speak to people in America, right? And they think that Australia is on there's some crazy stuff going on here at the moment, and like the government's going nuts and all this sort of stuff. And let's just have a bit of real talk, because we've got a few people that watch our lives from America, a bit of an American audience. And a lot of them are talking about, apparently some crazy stuff going on here in Australia. But really, like over here in Perth, we haven't had a lot of new people with coronavirus recently. That have been we had a couple of days where there was just nobody that had no new cases over here in Western Australia. I don't know what it's like in Melbourne. Let's just have a bit of a chat. I mean, you're a clinical psychotherapist. You run your own clinic as well. So let's just maybe just talk a little bit on the psychology and what's going on. Like, what's physically going on in there in Melbourne at the moment? Like, you're in it, right? So
yes, I'm in it. And in the last couple of days, I haven't been watching the news, so I'm not sure if this is current. But the last time I checked, I think we only had one new case. So with Melbourne, it's died down, as in new cases coming on. We had almost nil, which was a good thing. And we're actually thinking that by last weekend that we will the restriction will be lifted and stuff, but it still hasn't been, and we're still not sure when it will be lifted. And I believe the Premier is just trying to keep us all safe, in his own words. And, but at the end of the day, there's coronavirus, obviously, but the effect of it, the aftermath of it, the psychological and emotional and mental effect of it on people is what I'm kind of worried about.
Okay.
In the sense that we are not used to being told what to do. We are used to freedom. We are used to doing our own thing when we want to do it. But now, having to be told not to go out, not to visit friends, not to visit parents, not to visit anyone, just stay indoor, it's kind of impacting on so many people. And on top of it all, so many, we've heard of increment in domestic violence activities going on all over, not even just here in Australia, even all over the world. Because we used to have all these distractions. Work had always been a distraction. We go, we work, we come home, we spend a couple of hours. Now, couples are supposed or are made to stay together hours on end. And of course, the feeling of feeling like their freedom has been taken away from them tends to result in them, expressing the anger that they can't really take out on anyone, not on the prime minister or, even the coronavirus itself. It's an invisible enemy. None of us, we can't see it, and we're running away from it, which is the people are so eager to go out. What are we running away from actually? If we have armies, from another place, from Germany, from Korea, on our streets with guns and grenade and bombs and whatever, we can see them. Those are the enemies that know what we're running away from. But with coronavirus, you don't even know the next person you're standing next to has it. So the perpetual fear of, oh my goodness, I'm not sure, even by going to the shop, by pushing the trolley, I've picked it. It's on me. I don't know. So it tends to have this ongoing psychological effect on everybody.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like the stats that you've spoken about around the increases of violence and all these different things that are happening in the world, it's quite alarming, right? And I guess anyone that's more qualified to speak about it would be you as well, like from the psychological side as well,
yes.
having your own clinic and everything too. So you'd be able to know exactly what's going on from that perspective. So like, I mean, people that are, like not used to being able to, being told to stay at home and probably aren't the normally wanting to stay at home or not used to running their business from home as well. Like, what would you suggest to people in these aspects from from your psychotherapical background? What would you suggest to people that they could be doing in these times to, stay motivated, stay on track? Anything to do that you work with some of your clients that you could suggest to people just to help them out from this perspective? What would you suggest?
There are a few things that I've been suggesting to my clients, and I've done a few interviews, and I'm gonna repeat the same thing here. And to be able to overcome this or deal with anxiety, depression, and stress that do come with being told to stay home, with the fear that arises from what may, when the mind goes on and on, what may likely happen from going outside, from going to the shops, from, doing stuff next to somebody that you don't know that may have it. So the stuff that I've been suggesting for people to keep doing are the following. Number one, maintain your routine. Maintain your routine. Just because you're working from home shouldn't stop you from doing what you normally do when you dress up and go to work. Still get up in the morning, make your coffee, shower if you shower in the morning, put on a little bit of makeup on, and then sit by your desk, do your work. Don't break your routine just because you're now working from home. Maintain your routine. Number two, exercise. Exercise. We know that by exercising, you are releasing the happy chemical, the natural happy chemical into your system. So make it a point to walk around the block, walk back home. You don't need to pay for the gym. The field is around you. Just walk around, twice the block, 3 times around the block, come back home and keep doing your work. The other thing that I've suggested to people is that we all know that, being an author is one way of defining yourself as an authority in your field. So we've had a few weeks now that we've all been staying home. By writing 10 pages a day, in 10 days, you have a whole book to publish at the end of this. lockdown. So why not get to work? So you may be thinking, I've got nothing to do. I'm so bored. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm so angry that I've been asked to stay home. Why not channel it to something that will add value to yourself and to your business at the end of the day? The other thing that I do suggest to people is that there are courses, lots and lots of courses being released every single day. Some are free, some are for nominal prices. Why don't you register and do a course? So yes, we have a choice to look at all this as something negative or something that we can use to improve ourselves.
Yes.
You know, none of us ever thought this was going to happen. Ever. That we will have a time like this, that we will be able to just stay home and do nothing. It's not annual leave, it's not personal leave, it's just because stuff is going on and the government is saying stay home. Now, you may choose to look at it as, oh my gosh, what kind of life is this? Oh my goodness, I can't go out, I can't. Or now I've got this opportunity. This is a great opportunity, and I'm not sure when this is ever going to happen again. What can I do in this time? How can I add value to myself, personal development, or the business that I have at the moment? Or even if I don't have a business, what kind of business can I start doing as my side hustle? So you can see opportunities or you can see regrets and anger and whatever else. Is a choice at the end of the day. But read more, write a book, exercise, maintain your routine.
I have a problem with the exercise bit. The exercise I've been getting has all been mostly on a keyboard, and I'm doing a bit of rebounding, and one of the straps broke on the rebounding, so that sort of bugged me up a little bit. But the courses, oh my God, from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, if we're not doing live interviews. I just finished doing a Instagram webinar right before this that I wanted to get some information on Instagram. But courses galore. I hear of people who sit there watching movies all day, and I mean,
exactly.
That would be so lovely to do, but this is an opportunity, as you said, to advance. I did a coaching certificate in something already as well too, which will be coming up, later on down the track. And Jared and I are just boom, 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 constantly on webinars and, coming up with ideas and things like that. So it's a perfect opportunity for that because we don't know how long it will last.
Exactly.
We sort of know it might be back in a year's time, just depends on how the big boys play with it. But, it's a golden opportunity that if the people haven't taken advantage of it, they're probably going to notice that down the track.
Exactly. And that I kept on stressing it. Stop and think, what do I want what gift will I want to present myself at the end of all this? What gift? Because you might go back the same. When it's all finished, you're still the same as you were when all this coronavirus started. Or you may be a better person as in, in every way. Your personal development, you've done a lot of work there. In business-wise, you've done a lot of work there. You've learned more. You've added more value to yourself as an individual and also to your business. This is a time for, even with your business, how to restructure things. You never have this kind of time. We will never be able to have this kind of time. So it's an opportunity that you grab onto and you use it.
A lot of people have been saying that it's the first, you hear so many things about people are getting their house fixed up. They're getting jobs done around the garden that they've never had time to do. It's almost like perfectly for us to have been, put in that situation to really take a step back and look at ourselves. Perfect then for people to look at you know, how to recreate their businesses and everything. And obviously the world's going to be clean to a certain extent as well.
Exactly.
So I was blessed myself to meet Jared, you know, and we have similar things. So we've joined together and created a whole new boom as well too. So absolutely what you're saying is
Yeah. So I kept on saying it to all my clients, to people that talk to me, or when I get interviewed on issues like this, that take it as an opportunity that may never happen again. But while you have it, use it. Use it.
Love it. No, I think that's great. So with relate, so like you mentioned, because I know that you've got your own magazine, that you're the CEO of Global Achievers Magazine, and for a lot of people as well, when you talk branding, like business branding, so it's like it's great for people to do all these online courses and you know, maybe write a book or something like that as well. However, like looking at your magazine, for example, because Global Achievers Magazine, how could people use, like, you know, like develop a brand in these times as well? So specific, like, can someone use something like your magazine, for example, as like a launch pad of, you know, additional ways to create more credibility?
Yes.
Brand. And do you have some suggestions around other things people could do around brand?
Of course. I love talking about this, because my niche actually is working with aspiring entrepreneurs.
Yes.
You know, early onset or aspiring entrepreneurs. And you know how much it costs to get book published, to get in a magazine, to get, you know, to get seen and to get known, which is the major part of having a business that thrives. When you get seen and when you get known and you get heard.
Yes.
But to be able to get seen, to get heard, to get known, there are things you got to do. And if you don't do those things, it's not going to work. You just keep getting frustrated. And when I first started in this line of business, of course, there were so many frustrations. I met lots of coaches that promised heaven and earth and get paid high sums of money and delivered very little. And I've met some of my clients who were charged $25,000 to publish a book. And some of those books, they have it in boxes in their garages because, of course, they can't sell them. But the publisher had already gone away with $25,000. And I thought that it shouldn't be hard. To get seen, to get heard, and to get known shouldn't be as hard as, you know, most people have experienced. Someone like me, I've gone through that experience, which was the reason why I created Global Achievers Enterprises. So it includes the magazine publishing company. It includes book publishing company. It includes, you know, the coaching stuff part, and you know, public speaking part of things that, you know, we travel around the world having a stage to speak on and getting speakers to be on the stage. So you want to get known, you want to get seen, you want to get heard. You've got to go through all those four. You know, being on the stage whereby you stand up there, pictures taken, people listening to you, hearing what you have to say. That's a way you can define yourself as an authority. That's part of branding. Being on the cover of the magazine, we just published the issue 4 for this year, where we featured a man called Richmond Dean. He's a coach of coaches. He's a brilliant young man in Sydney. And I've featured so many other people and important personnel all around the world in that magazine. And this is talking about their stories of adversity to achievement. And when you see all the magazine that we've published, check them out. They are beautifully made. They are, whether it's online, and actually we are working with a printer that will be able to print as per demand for those that want hard copy. So unfortunately that I'm not in my office in Melbourne, I've got copies there to actually show you. But you still can check them online. The latest one was published not yesterday, 2 days ago, on Wednesday. And it's so beautiful. It's just so pleasant to look at. And those that are featured in the past, when you go and check their Facebook page or LinkedIn page, it's one of the things that they mention there. And they have the picture of their magazine there. Some of the people that are featured, they have, they have they cover their magazine framed, and it's on the wall in their living rooms. When they on their Facebook page and LinkedIn pages and every other pages, social media pages, they have it there that they featured in a global magazine. So that's for those people that that were featured on the front page. Now, those that featured by writing articles, we have someone that actually she's a founder and the CEO for Chemo Bodies for Life, who has a corner in the magazine. She writes about healing. So it's Tamara's Healing Corner. She has a permanent space there. So she releases articles almost every month, articles that blesses everyone that reads it. So we have stuff like that. People like that just talk about it, that are featured, and I write articles for this magazine. That helps. That, when you talk about it to other people, it says a lot about it. People tend to kind of look at you as, wow, this person knows what is he or she is talking about. Same thing with being an author, having books that you've written. I've written and published 14 books of my own, all in personal development areas. And when I say to people, not because I'm being proud or whatever, I just in chats and discussion, I've published 14 books. We're like, wow, 14 books, wow, they kind of see you as, wow. So it's a way of defining yourself in that field, in that niche that you've chosen. So I've talked about being on the page of a magazine, publishing books, being on a stage to talk, to speak, to be a speaker on a stage. And with the Global Achievers, it's not just in Australia. In Australia, we tend to go to 3-4 different cities around Australia, and then we do it around the world, United States, Canada, Africa, Europe, UK, and then Australia. So it's coronavirus. We had all these things planned for this year, everything planned. We have our dates and all that, but we had to cancel because of the coronavirus. So it's gonna be 2021 Global Achievers Summit. We have close to 60 speakers speaking on our stages as it is.
Wow.
And even though, yes, we've canceled the physical summit, we are working towards doing an online summit right now. I mean, with the coronavirus, we just have to, make something work. Because some of the speakers are actually eager, and some of them are, newly not to being established entrepreneurs, so they're eager to be on the stage to do something like this. So
A lot of places that do summits online, I'm very much into the health industry, so I get a lot of the health summits, and quite often they're prepared in advance. They have all their speakers and they do all the interviews and everything like that, and then they put some up where you get to watch it over a period of days, and then you can buy a whole lot as well too. And that actually works really well, because you get like, you can watch it at your own time. Often if you're in a live summit, there's so much going on around you, and especially if you like, visual auditory, things take up your attention, whereas this one you can watch and rewatch and whatever. So I love the online summits. I think they're awesome.
So yeah, that's what we're working towards at the moment. So we have all the technical people trying to work out the best platform for us to use, so that we can all be there. The 60 speakers can all be there to do what we really want to do. But at the moment, while they're doing their thing, one of the things that I've actually worked out is, picking 4 or 5 of the speakers and then picking up a topic. Like one of the topics that we will be discussing next week is actually beyond coronavirus. So the 5 of us will be doing that live. So that's to giving them the opportunity that they're looking for, but not live. Not physical or online at the moment. So yeah, being heard and being seen, it's very important in what we do as a coach, as a speaker, as an entrepreneur, because you want people to see and to hear you and then to trust you. But for them to do that, they've got to be able to keep watching and keep seeing what you've got to offer. So we give them that opportunity with the Global Achievers.
I've noticed you put it into a lot of the JT Fox group. So I think a lot of people who will be watching this would have probably already seen your Global Achievers and probably been wondering, sort of what it's about. So, if they are curious, sort of go there, but then they can also, follow up on Facebook as well.
Yeah. And as part of it, there's a book that I'm actually putting together, which I'm compiling stories, not stories, more like business lessons that you learned in your entrepreneurial journey. And of course, it's a journey. A journey when you first started is not the same as when you're making maybe 5 figures. When you get to the point that you are making 6, 7 figures, it's another level. So pick 1 or 2. That's, just summarize those business lessons learned on your entrepreneurial journey with your, your HD photograph to go with it. 2 pages per an entrepreneur in a book that will be gracing people's coffee table for years to come. So it's going to be a beautiful book that you want to pick up and look through and check out lessons, because I'm a firm believer in this. I totally believe that if you, Serena or Jared, you've gone and do something, for you to have done that and do it successfully well, you've got to have tried a few times. You've tried, you fail, you try another way, and then probably you fail, and then you try. So instead of having to go and do the same thing that you've done, wasted years upon years, getting to where you're going, getting to understand and, do what I want to do, I'd rather come and learn from you, Serena. How did you do it? How did you do it? Can you tell me? Can you show me? Can you explain this to me? Tell me your story. Let me learn something from you. So I learned from you. I learned from Jared. So instead of going the long way of doing, failing, I'll just get the shortcut, learning from you, learning from Jared, and then I present my best. And accessing you, Serena, may be a difficult thing. You're in Bali. Jared, may be a difficult thing. But if I read what you've written somewhere, what you've published somewhere, all right, in a book. That will help me. And I'm talking about 100 different entrepreneurs in the same book with different life lessons to be learned for aspiring entrepreneurs to pick up, read. Wow, wow, wow. And then just learn from each and every one of authors in the book.
I
So
have to be honest with you, you know, like, and it was quite interesting and quite weird. Charmaine did a story on me in South Africa a while back. And I actually learned from my own story, believe it or not, because, you know, you never stop and look at what each person does in their own individual space until all of a sudden it's on paper in front of you as like you said, as a story. And the story itself is like, oh, wow. Like, you know, that's, I would never even have been able to put it like that myself. So that's why I think that's a brilliant idea, what you're doing. I reckon that would be amazing and definitely want to be in that. I think people are going to have different stories to tell as well too, from, you know, when they first started to, there's going to be before Corona and after Corona stories as well for a lot of people. Just changing everything.
Yeah, because things have changed. Exactly. The landscape have totally changed. Yes. So yeah, that's my latest project at the moment. And I'm really looking, I've been receiving different stories, and it's been exciting reading through those stories and seeing what people have gone through to be able to get to where they are. Yeah.
Aaron, sorry, you're the voice that hasn't been there this time. So
no, that's okay. Look, really, like this is just like it's a discussion around like sort of all of this, right? So this is good. This is some good information for people as well, because like obviously having everything detailed into a book is great, right? It gives someone the ability to be able to just pick it up, read it. If somebody leaves it behind at a cafe, someone else picks it up and they read it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the key.
Read it, pass it on to a friend that may feel the need to read, or it may be of value too. So there's like a book is a great thing for people, and it builds a lot of authority, definitely. Yes, fantastic. This is good. So obviously we've spoken about your events and everything that you've got going on at the moment. We've got the book side of things. We've spoken about branding, etc. Now, with a lot of people as well, so a lot of people now have moved to their business completely online.
Yeah.
Already run it online before all of this, and some were forced to be able to do it. So they're like, we've got the two different types of people that are doing this at the moment. So what sort of suggestions, is there anything that you recommend to keep in mind for people that, you know, are running their business online at the moment? Any thought patterns, anything that you believe people should be doing and focusing on, and so on?
I will admit this to you. I'm a sucker for doing things the way I know it to, you know, so I've always been doing it. Yeah. Now, of course, like everybody else, we've been forced to do everything online. And it's not an easy thing. It's a mindset change. You know, the mind wants you to still, you know, want to meet with people, you know, do stuff that you've always done and do it the way you've always done it. But it's a matter of remembering that, yeah, even though I would have loved to do it that way, it's changed totally. So this is the new way of doing it, and I've just got to be my best in doing this. So the mindset, number one, and then reminding yourself that this is the way it is, learning the best way to do it. Before I was talking about doing the summit online. So the research is now going on with the team as far what is the best platform. Because I just don't want to do it for doing sake, but I want to do it and do it really well. You know, so I can't do it the way I wanted to do it before. Now, let's just, you know, let's go with the flow. This is it. Well, we have no choice but to go with the flow. And then if we're going with the flow, what is the best way to go about it? So that the branding, my brand, doesn't get contaminated. you know, when you give people wishy-washy stuff. But when you go and still present the best of the best, that is the key. That is, for me, that's what I would just say, the mindset change, and then making sure you're still doing your best, presenting your best with what you have. Where actually, you know, like I was saying before, in all this situation, if we can just focus on what we have, the opportunities we have, and then use it. We are in a place whereby we have access to electricity 24/7. Some people don't, and they're in lockdown. We are in a place whereby the internet is working with no problem. So let's use it, and use it instead of complaining, instead of moaning, instead of wishing to go back to the way things used to be.
Yeah, I'm sort of like, you know, I'm happy for change, and, you know, sort of for something different coming in. I think we get too comfortable, and that might be sort of why things need to happen. I'm just not happy with like fake news and falsity and lies. So,
Yep.
you know, that swings around me quite a bit, you know, and I'm not going to talk about it now, but that's a lot of what's happening out there at the moment. So we're sort of
which is the reason why I stay away from news.
Yes.
Totally
Yes.
stay away from it, unless, you know, they're still very limited, but they've proven themselves to be genuine platform. Those are the ones that I check out. If there's something and I check them and they don't have it, it's off. I just don't go into it. Mm. There are too many of those things, and those news, those things that are trending, that are lies, they cause palpitations, anxiety, depression in people. Yes. So there's nothing we can do about what's going on at the moment. You know, I have 2 boxes. The first box, anything that I can fix goes in there. The second box, anything that I can't fix, that there's nothing I can do to make that thing change, it goes into the second box. So at the moment, the corona thing, the lockdown, everything about it goes into that box. But in it all, what can I do with what I have? All right. So when you go and listen to news and read all this fake news and stuff, and you start developing
anxiety,
it's not going to change the situation. It's not going to chase coronavirus away. It's going to cause you harm. So it goes into that box. But out of it all, I'm like, okay, what can I do with what I have? I have my phone, I have my internet, I have my online stuff, and if I fix all that, then I create more, and I create more, and I create more, and I write another book if I have to. You know what I mean? Then that keeps me busy, keeps my mind occupied, it keeps me active mentally. Rather than waste time, emotional energy spent on things that I cannot fix. It's not within my power to fix.
I love your part before too as well, when you said about going shopping and touching the trolley. Yesterday I just went up to the supermarket to get a couple of things, and that's about the only time I even actually go out, and I put the basket, my shopping bag, into the basket and quickly got out my thieves spray, and I'm spraying it over the handle. And when I get to the shopping centre, she goes to take my credit card, and I go, no, I'll do it, thanks, and I insert it in, and I won't let her touch it. But you know, it doesn't matter. I've already had the virus back in November, before everybody knew it was a virus here in Bali. It was already rampant, so I think Balinese have already gone through the bulk of theirs without even knowing it. But still, you know, it's still possible that, you know, anything can happen when you're out there. But that was just so funny when you said that, because I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I did. Spray, natural.
You know, I did it. Just before we started our meeting, I quickly went down to the shop and I got this and my Coke, and I got the wipe. When I go back in and I wipe everything down, and I'm like, when is everything gonna go back to normal? Why, you know, but That's just the life that we live in right now.
Yes.
It's quite unfortunate, but and I mean, normally I really don't like dirt. I don't like, So my husband would say, my husband is a GP, and I'm prone to getting infections. And he will say, it's just because you are so finicky about everything. Relax, relax. Something dropped, you don't want to pick it and eat it. Just relax. We have more bugs in our body than what is on the ground. And he was always saying that. As I was coming back from that shop, picking my chips, and I was thinking, wow, gone are the days that we used to say, let go and just chill and be free. When are we going to be free again, from thinking and stressing, what if someone with coronavirus had already touched the packets? Then I had to wipe it down before I can even open to start eating. And that's the life that we live in at the moment. But at the end of the day, it's always remembering that it's just for a short time, because bad times never last.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much for all of this today. It's been some great information and everything as well. So for anyone that's wanting to maybe reach out to you, find out more about the Global Achievers event that you've got going on, or they would like some more information around your magazine and getting published in that potentially, how would someone reach out to you?
I'm very active on Facebook, very, very active on Facebook. I'm always sharing thoughts, ideas, and I write a lot. So they can find me on Facebook. If they are JT Fox member, I'm always there posting stuff and sharing stuff. Or they can contact you, Serena, and you just send them my way.
Okay, cool. So for anyone that wants more information about the Global Achievers Summit, just reach out to us. Just type info into the comments. We're happy to give you some more information on that. And Dr. Vicky will be able to do that. For any else of you that have any other questions or anything, you can always comment into the comments here today, and we're going to get those questions answered for you guys as well. So other than that, we're just going to wrap this one up for the day. Thank you so much as well for jumping on. I really, really appreciate your time today, Dr. Vicky. And I'm sure everyone's got some valuable information. And as always, Serena, thank you so much for being on as well. You're bringing a different vibe to the live streams as well, which is amazing.
Thank you, Jared.
You're from near my hometown, Melbourne. I was born and bred in Ballarat, so
yeah.
Don't announce that on our live streams, Ballarat, okay?
Yep. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. I'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to follow the page as well, because we've got more interviews coming to you guys. We've got Maria tomorrow, the lawyer. She's going to be talking international business, contract law, etc. So make sure you're following the page to get notified of everything. That every time we go live, we've got new people being interviewed every single week. So ensure that you are seeing and following the page so you can see it first. Get all that information so you guys can really take things to the next level. I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We will speak shortly.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.